A quick scroll through the Health at Every Size hashtag on social media platforms like TikTok brings up a plethora of clips featuring obese people. Such people, often women, are regularly shown living their best lives, fighting fat shamers, dancing, or sharing what they eat in a day as a fat person. But are you familiar with the saying, "It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt"? Well, I feel this perfectly applies to the Health at Every Size narrative. This is the breakdown of Health at Every Size from the standpoint of a fellow fatty who happens to be on a journey to lose 100 pounds. Hello, my name is Heather, and welcome to my channel, Mama in Motion.
I'm nearly 37. I'm obese, and I have suffered many health issues since my weight gain back in 2013. But tell me if you can relate to me in my youth. The Health at Every Size narrative would have felt like a great community to me back before YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram even existed. You know, back in the 90s and early 2000s before MySpace, when everyone was rail thin and skinny, and you got made fun of just for being different, or if you were even slightly overweight, you were made fun of so harshly. I was overweight, and as a teen, I loved food, especially junk food like cookies and ice cream and brownies. I relied on food to make myself feel good. I despised exercise and physical activity. When I was out of high school, I used to say things to my friends and family like, "I'm fat, I can't do that," so that I could get out of doing things that involved physical activity. I remember one time going to a concert when I was around 20 years old, and my little sister wanted to go from the nosebleed section where we were all the way down the stairs to the middle of the stadium in front of the stage where everybody was standing to see the band. And I was not down with that. That seemed like way too much walking and way too much standing for me, and I just missed out on that opportunity to see the band up close because of my physical limitations. I missed out on things because I didn't have the energy to do them. My body tired easily, and I was only around 20 years old. I drove my car everywhere. Simply walking fatigued me, even walking to the mailbox, so I drove to the mailbox. I was only slightly obese at the time. I was too unmotivated to lose weight, so I resigned myself to being overweight as a teen and young adult. I didn't want to put in the effort to change my body, even though I wanted to look like the celebrities I saw on TV. I wasn't yet faced with health issues pressing me to change my habits, so I would have followed along blindly with the HAES community, believing every dangerous word. I would have wanted the feeling of inclusion that comes from belonging to the fat acceptance community. My desire for image acceptance would have been misguided in the HAES movement because everything fat and healthy is not what it seems. The narrative is made for people who haven't yet experienced health problems due to their weight. It seems that if they are experiencing negative physical symptoms due to their weight, that they aren't being truthful about it, so they can further spread the misinformation that fat and healthy are synonymous. Many health conditions are silent until they aren't, and then they are like a horn blaring in your ear 24 hours a day, screaming at you to focus on the symptoms of what you're experiencing. If you Google healthy, the Merriam-Webster dictionary will define it by saying healthy implies full strength and vigor, as well as freedom from signs of disease. And vigor is defined as active bodily or mental strength or force. The World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Upon learning about the definition of health according to the World Health Organization and the dictionary, I wonder, is it really health at every size, or should the movement be focused on body acceptance and image acceptance? If you look at the HAES movement objectively, it is not health that the Health at Every Size movement is promoting, but rather self-acceptance and body acceptance. I understand the struggle of the obese person, and I am in no way saying it's not okay to be obese, morbidly obese, or whatever you want to be. Be obese, be thin, be somewhere in the middle, I don't care. Just be comfortable in your own skin. I'm of the mentality, live and let live if what you're doing isn't hurting someone. I don't believe health is a requirement that should be thrust upon people, but also, I don't believe it's okay to omit vital info when you have a fan base and followers that follow you and believe everything that you're saying to them. Even if a person who is obese is healthy or at least disease-free, there is something else that should be considered: quality of life. There are many negatives to being obese that affects one's quality of life. Why are obese people on these platforms not talking about it? Wouldn't it be so refreshing to learn about the physical hardships of another person that's just like you, to know that you aren't alone in your struggles? Why do we not see TikTok saying things like, my knees ache, my feet and ankles hurt, my limbs are swollen, my back is stiff, my legs tire easily, I pull muscles when I stretch, I need help with the basic things in life? What if they said things like, I am more healthy for now, but I am more likely to experience conditions more harshly because of my weight? Even upon admitting problems they have within their bodies, they could still spin it and end it on a positive note. Doing so would prove their mental fortitude and assert their confidence more than what I'm seeing now. That would be more impressive and real to me. Some damn honesty about what it really feels like to carry around 100, 200, 300 pounds of extra weight would be refreshing. Let's talk honesty within the HAES community. Riddle me this. Why is it that when an influencer within HAES is confronted with a health challenge that forces them to change, they are then exiled from the kingdom, shunned from the flock? What the bleep is up with that? How is that an acceptable thing to do? It's like HAES has built itself into a little box, and if anyone does something offensive, then they are kicked out of that box. Which is like totally ironic, since the reason people joined HAES is for acceptance and maybe not to be stereotyped in the first place. I guess I just don't get the movement. More honesty. Aging as an obese person is freaking hard. It sucks on so many levels. Not to mention all the possible health complications that are associated with obesity that no one wants to mention. Have you even ever heard of visceral fat? I had not, but now I have because I have it. And I've had it for a long time, but I didn't know I had it. And it has caused me a lot of problems already. Check out this informative TikTok to learn a little bit about it.
So can you be fat and healthy? So this is called subcutaneous fat. It's the fat that's outside your body. It's jiggly and doesn't look that good, but there's not really health issues associated with it. Now, once the subcutaneous fat is full, now you start developing this visceral fat, this belly fat that develops around your organs, caused by high insulin and fructose, because they both cause your liver to get fat and the liver starts to produce triglycerides, starting to fatten up the organs. And the driver behind this is sugar. There's so much sugar in the body that the body's trying to do whatever it can to get rid of that sugar, even fattening up the organs and creating visceral fat. And once that gets out of control, well, now you have type 2 diabetes, where there's nowhere for the energy to go. The muscles spilling out glucose, the fat cells are loaded, there's nowhere for the sugar to go, and you're peeing out sugar. Diabetes literally means to pass through or sweeten like honey. So it's the visceral fat that keeps you sick, not all fat. Take your waistline, multiply it by 2. If it's higher than your height, you have a lot of visceral fat.
Have you heard of visceral fat before this TikTok? Have you ever seen pictures of it within your own body like I have? It's gross and something that is very unhealthy. And that condition alone creates a huge flaw within the HAES community, because health at every size claims health, but visceral fat is extremely unhealthy. And all obese with a big midsection have it. But again, it's totally okay to live your life the way you want. I'm simply pointing out two things. That health at every size should really be called body acceptance, and that influencers are having fun and playing games for now until they're the ones experiencing a problem within their body. And that'll mean they need to lose weight, and then they'll no longer be welcome within their own HAES community. Ouch.